it's time for us to have a chat. I've noticed a trend with some artists I engage with on social media recently, which is that there are some artists who claim they don't get enough engagement with their posts. Being someone who considers themselves both an artist and a constant student of this sociological experiment called social media, I wanted to call this out for what it actually is. Now, some of this may sound harsh, but some of you need to hear the following if you honestly want to keep growing. It's the same thing that the big accounts on social media do, and if you aren't doing them, you should. From what I've observed, there's two things that hold people back on social media, with a bonus tip at the end, and both are fixable. The first is that artists post only about themselves, and never sincerely engage with others. What does that mean? Well, it means that the majority of their engagement on social media is only posting about their own projects. That's not to say you shouldn't and can't post about your own projects, but remember, while your world revolves around you, my world revolves around me, and other people's worlds revolve around them. How can you fix this? There's two things you can do. The first is pay it forward first. What do I mean by that? I mean, you find some artists whose work you genuinely like and you leave them a compliment. And it's really good to make this compliment specific to their work. If you can't come up with something specific, it is okay to leave a wow, but maybe embellish it with emojis to show that you genuinely think it's cool in some way. Insincere comments will not return the same results. I am very aware of a handful of people on the social media apps I'm on that will engage with me on a sincere basis or just are consistent in their support. What that encourages me to do is to make sure I support them as well. By doing this, you're not only showing that you are an engaged and supportive artist, but you're helping to build that engaging and supportive community for others. You have to think about what they are getting out of their interaction with you. I've interacted with a couple of accounts where people who were good artists have complained about not getting enough engagement, but when I engage with them and take time out of what I'm doing to show support, some don't even like the comments. My next thought then becomes, should I even bother following or engaging with this person anymore? You might say, yeah, well the big busy artists don't do that. Actually, a lot of them do take the time to respond. And think, aren't you more likely to comment on a YouTube video if you see the person who posted it responds to every comment made? There are multiple channels, not just in art, that I follow and engage with regularly because I see that they engage with the people commenting. It's the same for people engaging with you. Even a quick "thank you" with a smiling emoji can go a long way, though I'd advise against copying and pasting all of your responses. Second, you may be attempting to engage with the wrong people. Let me give you an example. I run a small guitar business, and on Instagram, I frequently get notifications that other small guitar businesses have started following me. Now, some of this may be trying to build that community. However, when there is no engagement with any of the projects I've made, usually I assume that they're attempting to get me to follow them back. Really silly when they've set their profile to private. The thought process here might be for the follow back, but this will not bring customers to them. I'm not going to give up a customer lead, and I don't need them to build a guitar for me because I can already do it myself. It's sort of like hunting in a field that's filled with too many predators and no prey. Go where you expect your customers and fans are going to be. Finally, I'm going to throw in this last bonus tip because it pertains to this channel. You might not be at a level yet that is commanding that following. I try to be supportive of everyone. As someone on their own art journey, I know the frustration of trying to improve, and I try to share that through some humor and fun projects on this channel. Please like and subscribe if that sounds good to you, or if this video has been helpful. However, you might not yet be Jim Lee, who's one of my personal heroes. He not only has the respect of people who aren't interested in making art, but also those that art is a way of life for. You might have made something and seen the improvement, and that's great, because it means you kept going through some struggles. So you share it, excited for everyone to see the marked improvement you've made, but you don't receive the warm reception that you thought you would. This doesn't mean you haven't leveled up. It just goes back to everyone's world is revolving around them, and they may not be aware that you leveled up in that piece. Again, this is fixable. Like anything, it's about practice and dedication. No matter what anyone tells you, there's no shortcuts to better art skills. If they say that there are, they are trying to sell you something. Listen to the people that tell you it's going to take some work, but you'll get there if you put in the effort. The good news here is that as you strengthen your basic skills, it makes it easier to transfer them to other mediums. I always preach on this channel that my biggest breakthrough in art came when I was able to look at something that I created and that I didn't like, and then ask what it was that I didn't like about it. The next step from there is, I don't like the way I paint eyes. They look flat. Okay, let me look up a tutorial from someone who draws eyes I really like, or multiple tutorials. And that's a true story, by the way. That's how you keep leveling up. And if it seems overwhelming, and like you're never gonna catch up, I've got some insight on that as well. Every single artist is never, ever done learning. Unless they're dead. And, well, if they're dead, they have bigger problems than making art. Even some of the biggest YouTube art channels will tell you that although you think their stuff looks good, they look at it and see a bunch of ways to improve upon it. The best news here is that we live in an age where information is easier than ever to get. You're basically an information wizard that casts a spell into a little box, and if you know the right spell or choice of words, you can conjure up how-to info on any art topic that you want. And in the very rare case that it isn't out there, make it yourself, because if you're looking for it, someone else is. Then share it on social media for some extra engagement.